It got you. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Sparkly Saturdays. This is not an every week thing. This is an occasional thing. However, we're just coming on to do a little bit of bling. Look at Marilyn getting all close and
I'm
personal.
trying to figure out which side okay.
Ow,
Usually on a live, my camera's over here, but today it's here.
Oh my goodness, she's poking me. Oh.
Come here. Bring those eyes up here.
Hey, y'all, Marilyn is up and ready today. She's up and ready today, guys.
No nap.
I don't know what she got going on, what she was over there doing, but she is ready today, guys. But hey, y'all, welcome to Craftful Things, along with Making with Marilyn.
Hey.
And as you guys know, we're going to be having a Sparkly Saturday. This live is intended for beginners. Let's see. This live is intended for beginners, and we're going to be going over the basics of Rhinestones.
Are you hearing a little echo, Patrice?
Yeah. That's
Are
fine.
you guys in the chat hearing a little echo?
You know I don't care about echo. It was just fun.
It will be annoying.
That's what took so long because we were testing. We tested this out and tested it out. Yep.
There's an echo. Okay, I'm going to drop this one off for now. Oh, but I got to turn that. Okay. And then bunkers. And
table 2.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
I
think?
don't know why. I took my computer out of StreamYard, even though, again, I have the volume down, I have it plugged up, I have earlier when we were echoing, I have the mic muted. I don't know what's going on.
But we still see your table, and we don't hear an echo right now. Your table's still on there. Look at the screen. Oh, but your little
frozen.
Girl,
yeah.
It's okay, guys. It's
so
fine.
Last I saw, Elena said yes, that there was an echo when Patrice talked, but I'm telling you, I think that most of the time, if you're talking and people hear an echo on you, it's the other person's issue. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So I'll just follow along in YouTube with.
So we just got our first batch of photos back.
What in the world?
It's okay, Marilyn.
There we go.
It's all good.
Sorry.
No worries. But hey, y'all, welcome. So this live is intended for like super duper beginners of bling. All right. And if you have any questions, please be sure to ask them. Marilyn and I have been blinking for quite a few years now. It's been about 4 that we've really gotten heavy into it, 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if it was 2020 or 2021.
I think 2021. I think 2021 that we really started like diving into blinking. And we're not experts, but we do know a little bit. We know a little something. All right. And we just want to share a little bit of what we know for anybody who's new. Because sometimes we get on here and we bling. And since we've been doing it for so long, and honestly, a lot of you have grown with us in this whole bling. We kind of forget that there's always new people hopping on, seeing the bling and wanting to bling too, because it's just so beautiful. So we kind of wanted to dedicate today to those who are new. And maybe possibly we'll, maybe next month, 2 months, however, we'll get together again and, help y'all out a little bit more. Y'all help us help you. Okay. But hey, Mary Bear, how's your Saturday going, girl?
It's going really well. Got a few things done around the house. Tim worked outside and in the shop today. And now he's down there sleeping. So
he must
bling. It was good. How was your Saturday?
Tim must ate good today.
He did. He worked hard and he got that belly full, and it's like a switch.
Good for him. Good for him. My Saturday went okay. This morning I had a service to go to this morning. And so I came home, kind of just relaxed, had a little small headache, but guess what? A little nap goes a long way. Okay, a little nap and a little bit of self-medication goes a long way.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. So and I'm excited. So this you will be able to rewatch this. The replay will be available. I did share this in the Facebook group. So if you have, if you're from the Facebook group, you have any questions, please, please, please ask. Okay, this live is for you to ask questions. So we're going to go over a few things as far as the materials you'll need for making these types of shirts, the machines you'll need, and I think we'll go a little bit into the software so that you can kind of see like what you need to double check and make sure prior to cutting. Now, I don't know the last time I did a single color design, and that's kind of what I'm a little bit worried about because most beginners, I would say, you should start with, a single color or maybe just two colors. But I don't think my design is one or two colors, so we'll see how that's gonna go. Marilyn, do you have anything to share?
No, I agree. I think if you're a beginner blinger, number one, I would start with templates from other people before I start worrying about diving in. Understand how they work before you try to design them. Even if you're a quick learner and you use one or two of somebody else's templates and you're like, okay, I'm ready to start designing, but understand all the stuff about the process of blinging before you worry too much about designing, because that can come later. And I do think starting with a 1 or 2 layer design is a great way to start.
Yes, yes. Okay, are there any new blingers out there? Anybody who maybe this is your first time catching us, or maybe you've been kind of watching a little bit just to see how this process works. If you are new, please let us know. I don't want to go too fast because I know a lot of times I could just go and go and go and just, but I didn't always, bling like this. I used to have a lot of headache and heartache with blinking, a lot of troubles. Okay, so is it Belime 99?
New blinger! Yay!
Oh, are you doing? All right. So, hey, everybody out there. I didn't get a chance to say hey to everybody. And tonight, we're probably not going to go back and say hey to everybody. As we see you coming in, we'll say hey because we don't want to be too long because Derica has her live tonight. So, we don't want to be too long. But if you're new to Rhinestones, you need to know there is a difference between bling. So there's Hotfix rhinestones and there's flat back rhinestones. And there's all like other types of rhinestones and application methods with the rhinestones. We're talking about Hotfix rhinestones tonight. So the flat back rhinestones, those generally require adhesive to be placed on kind of like a hard surface. You can do flat back onto clothing depending on the glue you use, but you're actually manually placing the glue onto the items. Marilyn, do you have that old mini cup that it took you 10 years to do?
No, I don't. I don't have it right here, and I don't have either of my bling tumblers that are so gorgeous, but I can grab one if you don't have any of the flatbacks handy.
I found one.
Okay.
All right, so these are flat back rhinestones, okay? So they're different from the rhinestones that we're going to be using tonight. The rhinestones that we'll be using tonight, you apply those with heat. They're heat activated because there's already an adhesive on the back of the rhinestones. And once you press them with your heat press, then, it sticks to your apparel. These are applied using glue. Okay, so there's several different types of glue that you could use. You're not going to use Elmer's glue for this, though. You need that strong permanent glue. Some people use B6000, B7000, Gym Tack. There's so many different types of glue that you use for this. Okay.
I think I use Liquid Fusion typically. Yeah, I like it a lot.
So it just depends. But for what we're doing tonight, you're going to need, with Hotfix rhinestones and garments, you need a heat press. Okay. Now, can you use like a easy press, something like that, you can. However, like, so this is this isn't really this isn't an easy press. This is the HTV Ront handheld. Like, it's almost like an easy press, but you can use something like this. The only thing is that, like, I like to have a lot of pressure, and I'm just not strong enough to apply that pressure manually in these. So I prefer to use my heat press to press my stones. But you can use something like this. I've used the mini press to do it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using an iron to do it, because I just the there's several reasons why I don't recommend using an iron. One, you don't want to use any steam on it, right? And then if you're ironing, and let's say mentally, like, just ironing, I'm just moving that iron, you don't want to necessarily move the iron on top of your rhinestones because they're not set onto your garment. So you may get your rhinestones may shift a bit. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend iron to do that. Okay. Marilyn, what about you? What do you think, girl?
I have never, that I can think of, used the easy press. I know you can. You're going to have to put a lot of force on it, and you're going to have to make sure you get pressure everywhere. There's a handle on that, so you might have more pressure in the middle versus the edges. I really feel like a traditional heat press is the best thing. And when I got my first heat press, it was $100 and some, close to $200. At that point, it might have been just over 200. But now there's heat presses. Like, if you want to start out with a very beginner heat press, there's heat presses on Amazon that are going to do a fine job for under $200. Now, I use the HTV Ront AutoPress 2 for my rhinestones, and I love it. However, I put a different mat on it because the mat that came with it has kind of a decent amount of give with it. And the only shirt that I have had rhinestones fall off, quite a few of them, was done with an auto heat press that had that cushy soft mat under it, so you didn't get that firm dense pressure. So I'd recommend, either an auto press like this with a dense mat or your traditional manual heat press.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we talked a little bit about heat presses so that that is something that is necessary for you to have when making these shirts. All right. Again, we talked a little bit about Hotfix rhinestones. Those have adhesive on the back of them. We're using rhinestones that you can get from the baby's booty. I do have a link listed below. There are rhinestones that you can get from, like, Amazon. There's other suppliers of rhinestones out there. You can definitely search and check and see which rhinestones you prefer to use. We do prefer to use the rhinestones that you can get from Eve with the baby's booty. I do feel like the quality of those stones are very nice. They're super sparkly. Both of us have on shirts with using rhinestones that she sells, and beautiful, absolutely stunning rhinestones. So I would definitely say check that out. Again, Hotfix rhinestones. Those have adhesive. I've had several people email me like, "Hey, I got these rhinestones and they won't press onto the shirt." That is because they were not Hotfix rhinestones. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you have Hotfix rhinestones. All right, the next thing that's super duper important is rhinestone flock. All right, so I did pull out some of my rhinestone flock so that you guys can see. Rhinestone flock can come in various colors. So today I'm using this blue flock that I actually love. I also have purple flock from the baby's booty. This is purple flock. And then I also have pink flock. Now, I used to get my pink flock from Heat Transfer Warehouse, but they no longer they're actually going out of business, so they're not really selling this flock anymore. But you can get rhinestone flock in various colors. Okay, it's just up to you what you prefer. Now, with the rhinestone flock, we're going to look a little bit at Cricut. I need to sign into StreamYard on this computer, but we're going to look a little bit at Cricut. And just so that you can see, how to upload a design inside of Cricut Design Studio, what is it called? It's Cricut Design Space. It's
Design Space.
studio. Goodness.
And on the flock, Patrice, because when I started, I used glitter cardstock for a while when I was doing just one-off designs, and I had success with that. It's not nearly as easy as flock. It was just less expensive. But you're going to pay the price in the amount of work it takes. I also tried some of that, like black flock, almost velvety, that you would buy off of Amazon that you would line jewelry boxes with. That really didn't do a good job either. Some people have asked about, there's strip flock that you use on shirts. I've never tried that, but I would recommend, sure, you can try to do some on cardstock if you do use glitter cardstock, because your transfer tape's going to stick to regular cardstock and rip it. But this is really the easiest way to go is true rhinestone flock.
And Marilyn has cut rhinestone flock. We're going to talk a little bit about cutting this flock. So you can use any vinyl cutter that you have will work with cutting this. So the design that I'm doing tonight, I use my Caesar Juliet to cut it. There are times that I use my Cricut to cut it. So that's your Cricut Maker, your Cricut Explorer, your Cricut Venture, your Cricut Joy. Those all cut rhinestone flock. All right. They all cut rhinestone flock. So if you have a Cameo, that cuts rhinestone flock. What other machines do I have? The Vavor cutter, that cuts rhinestone flock. The Lockleek HTV Ronc cutter, that cuts rhinestone flock. The Graph Tech, that cuts rhinestone flock. Y'all, if I missed anything, let me know if I missed any cutter, because you need to know, like, if you have a vinyl cutter, it can cut this. Now,
I think even a Scan and Cut has cut flock.
Brother Scan and Cut, that can cut flock. Thank you, Miraberry. You can cut rhinestone flock with basically any cutter that you have. All right. The only thing that you're going to have to do is spend a little bit of time researching and a little bit of time test cutting. All right. So each one of these flocks, I have to use different settings for each one of these flocks on literally all of the machines that I use. So on the Caesar Juliet, the settings that I use for this doesn't work with this. So I have to change the settings. I have to change the settings for the purple flock. So I have to do a lot of testing, which I don't have to do that much testing. Oh my goodness, my earrings coming out. I don't have to do that much testing with it now because I've done it so much. But when I get a new machine, if you guys were here the other night and I had the Cricut Joy 2 and I was trying to cut the rhinestone flock with it. Now I've cut it with the Joy before and I used the cardstock setting that worked beautifully. However, once I tried to put those same settings into the Cricut Joy 2, it wasn't cutting right. Also, I don't like to do multiple passes with cutting flock. One pass will work good if you have the right settings. Okay, one pass works just fine if you have the right settings. What else, Marilyn? What else am I missing?
I'm just giggling because Jane said my haircut looked cute. Did I get a haircut? I chopped my own bangs. Okay, on flock. So I used a speed of 10 and a pressure of 60 today to cut out my design, which is actually Patrice's design. That's on my Romeo. But Patrice probably uses a different setting and it works fine too. What settings do you use on your Juliet or your Romeo?
So it really depends on if I'm using a new blade. Like I've used as low as, I always cut at a 13 speed. Y'all know that I'm always going to say that if Caesar intended for us to use a lower speed, then they should have stopped at that. Because if I'm going to use the 10 speed, I might as well use my Cricut. You know, people be talking about Cricut. I might as well use the Cricut if I can't go faster. But I used a 13 speed and I also used, today I used 53.
So you have a newish blade?
It's a newish blade.
Okay.
So when I first started out with the blade, I was cutting at about 36, a force of 36. But as I've been using it, I cut a lot of flock, y'all. So as I've been using it, that's when I had to keep amping it up. And how I know to amp it up is because those holes won't peel smoothly, right? So then I'm like, you know what? your blade is getting a little bit worn out, sometimes you have to clean that blade because remember, this stuff is sticky. And so when that blade is making those cuts, it's picking up some of that sticky adhesive too on the blade as well. So you will need to clean that blade off because sometimes dots get stuck up there, some of the flock material because this is fuzzy, the shavings get stuck on it and inside of the housing. So sometimes you will need to clean your blade. Okay. Now somebody asked about the difference between the flocks. So
that pink roll also. Mo Baby asked about the size of that pink roll of flock.
So this is about a 50-yard roll. This is a 50-yard roll, or was a 50-yard roll. This is maybe a little bit. This is less than 50 yards right now, but when I purchased it, these both were 50-yard rolls of flock. Okay, this was about 90 yards of flock. But if you notice, like this one is a little. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this one is a little bit taller than these, like the blue flock. The difference of the flock is really the manufacturers. The texture of them, it feels the same, but the thickness of the flock varies as well as the adhesive on the flock. So that adhesive is different than on all of them. So they are different. They're not the same. They're not the same. And so even though these technically they're both a rocket flock, the pink and the purple, we don't know what affect, like if the dye affects the material and all that stuff. Like everything just works kind of differently. So
and what lot of glue did they use? Because you know, just like there's different dye lots of fabric and this and that, did that affect it? Did a different batch of glue affect it at all? I mean, we know a different glue can affect it. So yeah, there's just so many variables. And I would also say, if you're starting out, I have 50-yard rolls also. Don't spend the money on a 50-yard roll if you're just starting out, because you may get into this and go, oh, I hate this. I don't think so. I think you're going to love it. But start with one or two colors of rhinestones. Start with a little bit of flock. Start with a little bit of transfer tape, which we'll talk about. And then we'll talk about those two.
Yes. So how do you know it? Listen, you're going to use, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this roll is my favorite flock. It is no longer available. Like this, the pink flock is still available, but this particular flock right here is no longer available. But it's my all-time favorite. And I've cut with several different flocks before. I even have a yellow, let me see if I have the yellow flock. I even have a yellow flock down here.
Yes, this roll was before Flockgate. And I reserve it. This I bought after Flockgate. And then I have my Eve flock over here, my purple flock. I had blue flock. And somebody was asking, I think it was Quit Winch, how do you know which one to use? It's just like this is a Ford and this is a Chevy. They both drive. They both get you down the road. They both work well.
Yeah.
These are both great flocks. These are the two that I use. They're both great flocks. So what would I base my opinion on? Cost.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah. Because once you test it out and you know the settings that you need to use and you know how to maneuver those settings, how to adjust them when you need to, you'll probably stick with it. If you guys know, like usually I just go ahead and cut with the blue flock. I've kind of figured out the settings that I need to use on my different machines to make it work. And that's what I generally use. I generally use the blue flock, right? Why? Because I mean, for me, it's just more cost efficient. And because of the amount of designs that I'm always cutting, I am probably cutting maybe like 4 designs a week using so it just works better for me. What else are there any other questions about flock and rhinestone flock or anything like that? Let us know.
Had a fun reaction. He said Flockgate, laughy So Phyllis said she has used her scan and cut. That's what she uses. So I don't own one, so I didn't know how well it cut, but I'm glad to hear that it cuts.
Yes. Now, another thing that we need to talk, so we've talked about the flock, we've talked about the heat presses, we talked a little bit about the rhinestones. Another thing that you're going to need is transfer tape. And not just any transfer tape. You're going to need Hotfix transfer tape. And the reason why you need Hotfix transfer tape is because this particular transfer tape is made for use with your heat press. So it can withstand the heat of the heat press. If you try to use just regular transfer tape that you possibly use with like your vinyls, it's going to melt into your shirt. And that is definitely a thing. It to your shirt. Look, Marilyn has a few we did bad.
I just got this one. I think it came yesterday. It is KTM mask, which is, I love KTM mask. That is my favorite rhinestone transfer tape. Now, I had a friend send me some, it's called U-Line, and it's very close to KTM mask. Oh, wait, no, that one. U-Line. Yes. So KTM mask. This came from Heat Transfer Warehouse. They're closed now. So I found another vendor called Craft Cutter Supply, and it was a lot more than what we could get it from Heat Transfer Warehouse. So I'm hoping that Heat Transfer Warehouse, I know they send an email of who they suggest now as vendors for a lot of their products or the products. So I'll check that too, but I was getting low on this. And then I've used some from Amazon before. Now, some people do have a strong preference, whereas I think the flock is close to the same. You can get very flimsy heat transfer tape, rhinestone transfer tape, and you can get a little thicker. If you're starting out, I'd recommend the more substantial. Once you've been doing it a while, the flimsier, the thinner, which is less expensive, works fine. It works great. You just have to kind of be a little bit more, maybe used to doing rhinestones to use it, especially on large transfers. For small transfers, I wouldn't care what I use. But once you're getting large transfers, it becomes a little more tricky.
Yeah. We have more questions? Trying to think what else. All right. So the other thing that you're going to need, so we talked a little bit about the Hotfix transfer tape. Thank you, Mare Bear. The next thing we need for making our designs, you need rhinestone brushes. Now, this is just a plain edge brush. And a lot of these products you can find on thebabiesbooty.com. You can find them on Amazon. But these are edge brushes, and you can find these inside of Lowe's or Home Depot in your hardware store, local hardware stores, okay? It's a painter's edge brush. This is how we brush our stones in. But then we also have these brushes, and you can get these from the Baby's Booty. They're smaller. Now, we haven't really talked in detail about the Hotfix rhinestones and the different sizes that you may need, but we'll get into that once we pull those beauties out. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about those when we pull those out. But these are also rhinestone brushes. You need these, okay? You also need wax pens, right? And this is what your wax pens look like. Now, wax pens don't necessarily always have to look. See, Marilyn has one that looks a little bit different from this.
But and the wax.
That's your wax, okay? Now, you can replace these. They do have refills, tip refills, okay? So you don't have to get a whole new one, but they do have, you can refill it. This picks up any rhinestones. Now, you're going to have your brush, right? But you're going to need this too, because there's going to be some times where you may need to manually place a rhinestone into the template, all right? Or move it. What's that, Mary? You want me to make you bigger?
These are the replacements. And so these, okay, make me bigger. These wax tips, they unscrew, and then these are replacement tips. You don't have to replace them very often with Hotfix rhinestones because you barely have to touch the rhinestone. Now, if you're using these, which I use them also for flat backs, you have to put a little more force on the flat back to make sure it's really stuck in there good. But see, it just unscrews and screws back in. You don't have to buy a whole new thing. And I got, let's see, how many's in there? 8, 9. It probably came with 10, and they were maybe $5.99, $6.99 for all those replacement wax tips. Again, I mainly just have to replace the tips for doing flat back rhinestones.
Nice. All right. She's looking at me like, girl, get me from bigger. All right. So we had a few questions in the chat. We had Darnell was saying, Darnell, you saying you don't know where to find flock and transfer tape. So when I first started out, Heat Transfer Warehouse was where I got everything, like my rhinestone flock, my transfer tape. I still prefer the KTM mask. I would get everything from there. And then Evie started selling rhinestone flock and transfer tape on her site, thebabiesbooty.com. This is a flock that I get. I usually order it in bulk, and you have to buy a lot of it in order to get it. So I do have like multiple rows of this, but you can also get this flock from off of Amazon. If you want, it's Gdace, Gdace. This came from Amazon. And Hotfix transfer tape, I usually buy that in bulk. I used to be very snooty about my Hotfix rhinestone tape, and I only wanted the KTM mask, and I'm still very partial to KTM mask, but I will venture into other Hotfix transfer tapes. Like, I don't necessarily have to use that, but I do prefer it. I do prefer the KTM mask. I think it's the better of the Hotfix transfer tapes. All right, I think we kind of covered like the supplies we need to apply them, right? Anybody, any other questions there, Peter? Oh yeah, let's hit that. So I'm gonna add my table to the screen too, so you guys can kind of see a little table a little bit. All right, let's go, Marilyn. We're gonna talk about our flexible cutting or chopping mats, whatever it's called.
Yes.
All right. So Marilyn, when both of us first started, getting chopping mats from the Dollar Tree was the thing. You got 2 in a pack, they were $1. Now they're $1.25. But when we started, you're gonna get 2 for $1, right? And so these mats, I'm gonna bring it so you guys can see it. These are what they look like. Now these chopping mats actually came from Amazon. The ones that I'm using now came from Amazon. I used to use the ones from the Dollar Tree, and if I'm in the Dollar Tree, I'll probably still pick them up occasionally just to pick them up. But I get these from Amazon. But they're basically the same thing. With what Marilyn has, they're basically the same thing. But yeah, these are
in the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, these are a little bit larger than the Dollar Trees,
Yeah.
but you can still, the Dollar Tree chopping mats are still good. You still 2 in a pack. And we like to use these. Now, some people, I've used cardstock to place my templates on. And that's basically all I've ever used outside of these. This will make your rhinestone template last forever. Even if it got wet, think about like if you use cardstock and it gets wet, then you kind of, it may warp the cardstock, it may not, operate correctly. But this right here will make your rhinestone flock, your template last forever. All right. So Marilyn, do you want to talk a little bit about it? Do you want to say anything? I'm gonna go ahead and peel. This is the template that I just cut, and I'm just gonna take this off of the roll, and we're going to place it onto this so you guys.
Oh, good. Yeah. So this is what it looks like once you get your template on it. And Patrice, I was able to get all 4 layers on one 12 by 12 piece.
I love it.
I love it. Now you'll see later, people that are watching, everyone in the chat, you'll see later I do tape off while I fill my designs so that I don't have to have them far away from each other. So you can either cut them, separate them, stick them on your mat separately, or if you want to keep them close together so you're not using as much space on your mat, you can just do what I do and then tape it off. And again, you'll see that later. I buy mine from Amazon too. It's probably the same ones Patrice buys. I don't know. There's 2 in a pack, and I usually buy the bundle that has, I think, 10 packages, 20 mats in it, and it's very economical. Oh, and you can put them on the front and the back.
Yeah, I usually do the front and the back. I think I have that one somewhere. Oh wait, let me see if this is it. Like I usually do. Yeah, so this one just says still her, and I put the main part on the front, and then I put these two like on the back. And then this one says Benner, and I put that on the front, and then this on the back, like that. Like it just depends. It's however you want to do it. You know, it's whatever works best for you. That's what you know you do. So this is already cut. I cut this out with the Caesar Juliet, and I usually when I'm cutting, I usually like to kind of start from here to peel it down. I kind of like to go in a very quick motion because I feel like that's where my dots end up staying how they're supposed to stay. And then I just kind of hold it down. Now, if you're cutting with a mat, I didn't even address this. So I cut this without a mat, right? Because with the Caesar cutters, the Caesars and the StarCraft cutters and the Vavor cutter, I don't have to have a mat to cut. As opposed to like if you have a Cricut, you're going to want to use your cutting mat. Even if some people still like to use a cutting mat with their Caesar cutters and with the StarCraft cutters, right? But I don't like to use a mat, so I put it in just like this. If you have a cutter that you want to use your mat with, you want to make sure that this is nice and secure to that mat. So older mats sometimes don't really work well when you're placing the flock on it. It'll cut it, but it's not gonna, really hold. You really want that backing to be secure on that cutting mat. Okay. If it's not, that can cause you to have ovals. That can cause it to, you not to cut it all the way. It can just give you a lot more headache. So you need to have a good mat that's sticky, not overly sticky. Don't use the purple mat because you're gonna leave everything behind on that purple mat. And there are also some people who like to, I've done it before in the past, cut without the backing. I used to be a cut without the backing person, but I prefer just to go ahead and leave the backing on and to cut that way. What about you, Marilyn?
When I was cutting my rhinestone transfers, my flock, when I was cutting my flock with my Cricut maker, which I love, I still love to this day. It's what I use most of the time, unless I'm cutting flock. My Cricut maker wouldn't cut quite all the way around. There was one teeny tiny little piece of every circle that was still attached. So you had to be able to really pull it hard to get it to rip off, or you're going to be poking out every one of those. So at that time, I was cutting without the flock backing on it. So if we look at the flock, whether it's purple, pink, yellow, it doesn't matter. Your flock has this paper backing. And what Patrice and I were saying was, we used to take this backing off. We would lay our flock, sticky part of the flock, directly down on the cutting mat, and we would cut. And that honestly got me a good cut with my Cricut. I could not get a good cut with my Cricut if I left this on. It just wasn't, I don't know what the deal was. But then I started cutting with my Caesar Romeo. And at first I was cutting with the backing on, but I wasn't using a cutting mat. So I was just using it with the backing on. Well, then my Caesar Romeo kept spitting out my flock before it was done cutting, and it would still cut. So the little strip right under the blade got all jacked up, got all messed up, and I haven't changed it out yet. So now I have to cut with a mat because that plastic strip is no longer smooth. It's all jaggedy. So I cut with the Cricut mat because the Cricut mats, I love the Cricut mats. And when I looked months ago, they were much less expensive than the Caesar mats. So even though I'm using my Caesar Romeo, I cut on a Cricut mat. When I'm cutting something that's longer than 12 by 12, I have 24-inch mats over there that I can use.
Yes.
But yeah, now I leave the backing on the flock and I put it directly on my mat and I cut with the mat.
Yes. I leave it. But I don't use my mat. I just throw that baby in there. If you guys notice right now, this is how I had it set up in the software to cut. I'm gonna actually keep this strip right here to test. So sometimes I still have to test cut things to see, okay, why isn't this working? Let me try to increase my pressure, maybe check that blade to see if enough is exposed or if it's too much exposed, right? So I usually keep my little scraps to do like some test cuts with it. Like this is enough to actually do like a nice test area on here. And if I were doing like a custom name, let's say if you had a custom shirt or something that somebody wanted, they wanted their name on it. Guess what? This is perfect. You're not wasting a full piece of fluff and you're not throwing this away. It's not big enough for a full design, but you can actually do some other things with it.
And let's touch on something that you just said, because really, I don't think people focus on this issue at all. We focus on, oh, it didn't quite cut, the holes aren't coming off, this, that, and the other. But what Patrice said is, if you have your blade out too much, or if you have your pressure too hard, what you can do is you can cut through the flock and the paper backing on the back. And what's going to happen is the paper backing and the holes are both going to come out, but your backing on your main part of your flock really isn't. It's just a pain. It doesn't work well. So you don't want to have so much pressure with the blade so far out that the backing is cutting out with your flock.
Oh, well, you know what else, Marilyn? So when you don't cut, like let's say if you decide, because that you may be like, I can't do the backing. I need to cut without the backing and place it directly onto my cutting mat, right? You have to be careful when you're peeling the template off, because if you cut without the backing and you place it onto the Cricut mat, and once it's done cutting, you go to peel it off, you could rip your design. Remember, these are just perforations, honestly, right? And if you're like me and you like designs that are nice and tight and close, you are definitely going to just peel that off and rip it. So you have to be very careful. It can be done, but you just have to be very careful when you're doing that, okay? And so I'm just placing, this is kind of how I usually do my templates. And then this is a 3-layer template. So if you notice, this is 3 different, I have 3 different layers, okay? So you want to pay attention to the design. So I'm going to, because every layer has to be cut separately, okay? You can't just send it through the cutter and cut it, because then you're going to really have a mess.
Do you have to still have a flock dot in the bottom L of that girl?
Oh, right here?
No, the L.
Oh. I don't think so. Right here?
Nope. Up toward the top, come down about where your right thumb is, a little lower than your right thumb.
Oh, here?
And then over on the L. Okay.
No.
Okay. I don't know why I thought I saw one.
Right here at the top, right here.
Yes. At the top of the bottom L.
You guys y'all are so good.
And for anyone that's new, what Patrice was talking about when she was talking about not cutting with the backing, cutting directly on the mat, the reason that can happen so easily is because that it can stretch and break. The back of this flock is very sticky. Your mat is very sticky. So you have double stick, and it takes more force to pull that off. When you do that, the flock stretches and it can just break right at those where the skinny parts are. If that happens, don't throw it away. Don't get angry and bundle it up, throw it in the trash, because as long as it's not a ton of places, or it's not, the whole template, even though they ripped apart in a few little places, just set those down on your mat, stick them down, and you'll still be able to use that template.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everyone coming in. I see so many new faces, and I don't see their faces. So many new names in here. Welcome.
Hey, guys. So what else did we miss anything so far? We talked about heat presses. We talked about cutters. We've talked about the supplies needed to bling. For those of you out there, have we missed anything? We talked about templates. Have we missed anything?
I don't think so, because when we start pouring in the stones, we'll talk about stone size.
Mm-hmm.
And when we start transferring, we'll talk more. We talked about the transfer tape, but we'll show the process. Okay. So I can't think of anything we missed, but if anybody in the chat has a question, let us know. Thanks, CS Potentials.
Let us know. Let us know. And I'm gonna
Yes, Kristen. I did that on my template that I just cut out yesterday. She says, or if you cut too close to the edge. This Y, there's
oh,
one little piece of that Y that is open. I don't have flock all the way around this hole right here, but it's still going to work perfectly fine.
it's and guess what happens? This comes in handy, right? So if you need to go ahead and just place one or two around that edge, you can. You can. These are, I think these are the unsung heroes of bling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That can really help, especially. Oh, so another good thing to have, I don't have mine handy, but I know Marilyn uses hers a lot. I rarely use mine, is my Hotfix wand applicator.
Oh, yeah. And this.
And a little scraper to get your bling up. But the Hotfix wand applicator, it's something that's handheld, and you can actually use that to manually press your stones. Like if you have a missing stone, if you need to remove a stone. You want me to make you? Let me make Marilyn a little bit bigger so she can show y'all.
And usually when I use this, I put my label on it. When I'm using this, it's usually when I have a stone that's a little out of place and it's bothering me because I'm a little OCD. So I will just put this on it until the glue on the back's kind of heated up enough to move it. I'll slide it barely where it needs to be, and then I'll release it. I used to use this also if I wanted to remove a stone, but now if I want to remove a stone, I put a little mini press, like a Cricut mini iron under it. I wait for it to get hot, and then I pull it off with tweezers.
Thank you, Mira Bear.
You're welcome.
All right, so okay, so we didn't really talk about settings because I do feel like settings like you have to test your settings out. But for majority of my Cricut machines, like my Cricut Maker, my Cricut Maker 1, 3, 4, my X4, I generally use the medium cardstock setting for probably all of the flock that I use. Now, if you see some of my older videos and Marilyn's older videos, you'll see where we used to create a custom setting for it, and we would cut it at 340 pressure with one pass. But lately, like whenever I use those machines, the medium cardstock setting works really good for me. Again, I don't like double cutting, so I don't like two passes. I only like one pass.
Passes.
Yeah, because sometimes when you use two passes or three passes, depending on your blade and all that stuff, those flocks start to lift up, and then you're just gonna have a mess. So I generally prefer to do one pass. I do the medium cardstock setting. With my Venture, with my Cricut Venture, I just do light cardstock setting with the Cricut Venture, and it cuts beautifully. Honestly, the Cricut Venture cuts rhinestone flock amazingly, but it just takes me a little bit longer, so I just go ahead and pull out the Caesar, Juliet, or the Romeo. Marilyn, do you want to share any of your settings that you use?
I did what you talked about. I used custom setting. I think it was 245. Was it 245 or 345? 245.
340. Yeah, it was like 40.
345. That's right. And one pass, because anytime I did something with more than one pass, it would go around, it would lift, and it'd lift that hole out a little bit, and sometimes it would shift it, and then you're trying to cut again, and the hole's in the way because it shifted. And I just never, ever had any good luck with multiple passes. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to find a setting with one pass. Yeah. Yes. Unless I'm using the silhouette cutting machine, which I have other issues with because it cuts ovals. But the silhouette cutting machine, two passes never lifts until it's done with both passes. And I did like that.
Okay. Sounds great. What else do we need to talk about for passes? I think that's basically it for just the cut settings, but it is something that you're going to have to test out. Don't just go and cut a template and you've never done it. Test out the settings. So get like a little small part of the flock and do a test cut. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about the stone sizes as far as like which rhinestones you may want to use. We'll look at, I think I have some SS6 that's out. I'll show you guys like the difference between SS6 and SS10. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So as far as designs are concerned, both Marilyn and I design our own templates. right? We both have like websites and Etsy shops where you can purchase templates from. Marilyn's Etsy shop is Marilyn's Merce, and this is probably Marilyn's Merce Merch Merc. Sorry, the actual name is Marilyn's. That is the name of her Etsy.
Yeah. You got it.
And I'm only going to say it this time because we have quite a new people. They may be like, what is Patrice talking about? So her Etsy shop is Marilyn's Merc. It is linked below in the description, and she has tons of rhinestone designs there. She's also putting embroidery designs, but this is not about embroidery. This is the Bling and Bling Society. So we're gonna just talk about Bling. And then I also have an Etsy shop, Craftable Things. I also have my website, craftable.things.com, and that's where my newer templates are. On my Etsy, I have like my older templates on there, but on my website, I have the newer templates. So if you are interested, definitely check out our Etsy shops and our websites. Now, we're going to look a little bit at some files on Creative Fabrica because you can get rhinestone files from Creative Fabrica, all right? And I want to do that because I want to show you guys more so how to resize it. Now, if I found a file on here that is just outrageous, because sometimes the files just be too much to, it's not really too much, but it's too much for this live. Okay, I don't want to confuse you. We're not gonna do it, but I just want to show you guys what you need to look for, what you need to look at when you're looking for rhinestone templates. Okay, so I am going to share my screen.
And somebody also a little bit ago, when you asked what we hadn't talked about, somebody said designing. And what we have decided is this is really more of an application because designing comes after you kind of understand what's going on with Bling. And this is really a starter thing. Patrice teaches design classes. We both have videos that show how to make rhinestone design. So we'd love for you to watch those. I think I'm looking at the wrong place, or take the class, or even on our lives. Patrice and I have both shown, Patrice much more than I have, how to do designs in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. I think that's both of our preferred software programs to make rhinestone designs.
Yes, yes. So a link to Marilyn's YouTube channel is listed below in the description. So make sure you guys go over there and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and check out all of her Bling videos. She has a lot of Bling videos, and she is very detailed in her teaching. All right. So mostly my design classes or my design tutorials come via lives because I do have classes where I teach in detail how to do Bling designs, but I do have quite a few lives that show basically, you know, any and everything that I know how to do. So thank you, Marilyn, but definitely check out the description. All right, so we're going to just share. We're going to head into Creative Fabrica right now. Oh, I forgot I'm on the main screen. I'm still a little bit confused with this PC situation, but we're gonna be here. So I just typed in rhinestone design in the search filter for on Creative Fabrica. Now I do have a subscription for Creative Fabrica. As y'all see, it's not that much. You know, you can get quite a bit of designs in Creative Fabrica, not just rhinestones, but you can get quite a bit. So here are some of the designs that pulled up when I typed in rhinestone design. Now, if you look at these, like it kind of tells you, you want to make sure you know what you're downloading. So let's look at this butterfly with the crosses in the center. So this is telling us as far as the stone size. Let's click it. The stone size says that this is SS10. All right. We haven't really touched on stone sizes. SS10 is the more common rhinestone size. Okay, you have SS10, you have SS6, you have SS12, SS16. You have so many different rhinestone sizes, but this particular design is only for SS10 stones. So if you were going to use this, you need to make sure you have SS10 rhinestones, right? So also, if you look, they have the measurements here. So the width is, it says that it's 10 inches, and then the height, it says that that is 10 inches, right? So when you pull this into your design software, so if you pull this into Cricut, you want to make sure that the size of the entire design is a 10 by 10. Now, I would say this is a very good beginner-friendly template from just looking at the screen, I would say that this is a very beginner friendly template just because it's one color. All right. I don't make many one color designs. So I don't even think Marilyn makes any one color designs. Like we like
Patrice makes 7-layer salad designs.
exactly, exactly. Y'all know I'm gonna layer it up, right? But this is a very good beginner friendly template, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to download it. We're gonna see what this looks like. Now we may have to go into Silhouette Studio and talk a little bit about that, but we're just gonna leave it like this, and we're gonna see if we can pull this into Cricut Design Space and just cut it from there. So I downloaded it. I think I did. Did I click download, Marilyn?
I was looking in Creative Fabrica when you did it.
Yeah, I did. It's okay. It's okay. It came in as a zip drive, a zip file, right? So I'm opening up this file, and here's the file right here. So this is my SVG. Since I'm going to be opening this up in Cricut and possibly Leonardo, we'll look at Leonardo too. I want to go ahead. This is the file that I'm going to need. I'm going to need this SVG file right here. Okay. So I'm just going to add this to my downloads just because I need to bring it out of the zip drive. So if you ever unzip or decompress a file, you need to sometimes move those files out of that zip drive. Okay. It's very important because I get a lot of times people will ask like, hey, because I put mine in a zip drive too, mainly because on Etsy, if you want to put in multiple files, it needs to be in a zip drive. Okay. But you have to be able to download the zip drive and extract those files out. All right. If I open this up right here, now let's say if I open this up, it opened up in the browser window. Okay. Guess what? Your browser cannot cut this file. So if you ever click that file and it opens up in your browser window, if that's because you don't have a dedicated program to open SVG files. So it's going to automatically open up into your browser. You need to open up. So if you're going to be opening this up in Cricut, that is where you're going to open it up at. Don't just click it from the file window. You need, or your folders, you need to open up the design software, Cricut Design Space, Leonardo, whatever you're going to be using, and then you want to upload it into that software. Okay, because now it's just opening up into another window in your web browser. Okay, this is sometimes a common issue that like a lot of people may have. I've had people call me or email and say, I can't open the file. Something's wrong with the file.
Yeah.
You have to know how to use this stuff. Okay? You have to know what you're doing, right? So this will come up if you're new. Okay, this will come up if you're new. All right. So I can just close out of this because I can't cut this from this web browser. I can't cut it from Edge. All right.
Hey, Patrice, also, before you move on from Creative Fabrica, will you show them the dimensions and talk about how important that is to know what they are?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up inside of Cricut Design Space, so that way they can kind of get an idea. So you guys see here, remember like the SS10, but this is 10 inches wide by 10 inches high. That's what they say, but I want to warn you.
Yeah.
So get things from Creative Fabrica. Things aren't always what they appear to be. Okay, they aren't always what they appear to be. All right, so that was just the one layer. Now, if you look here, you see this has two different colors, a pink and a blue. That's a 2-layer design. This one right here has 3 colors. Looks like white, purple, and blue. That's a 3-color design. So when you get ready to do that one, you're going to separate it, right? Then you have Believe right here. That one looks like that's a 3-color. So you can kind of see now, and they do have Rhinestone fonts that you can use. I'm not a big fan of Rhinestone fonts because you can just make whatever you want to make with whatever you have. But if you feel more comfortable doing that, you can. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to also download the Believe. Well, how are we looking at on time, Marilyn? It's going to brush fast.
We got 48 minutes.
We're going to have to brush fast. So I just downloaded this other Rhinestone one, the one that says Believe. That's 3 colors. All right. And I'm just going to bring this over to my downloads. Let me change this. I'm just going to change the name real quick. I want to rename it.
Jesse said, we got all night.
Jesse, we don't have all night. We don't.
Ivana
Um,
says she has that one. That's cute. I like that one.
which
And
one?
if you the believe, if you don't want to have it in 3 layers, you can take it into your software and you can weld those 3 layers together so you just have 1 layer. So let's say you don't want to cut 3 sets of flock, you don't want to use 3 different colors. I'm a beginner, I just want to cut it as one so I can use one color. You just take those 3 layers in, don't ungroup them and pull them apart. Just circle around the whole thing on a Cricut and say attach or weld, either one.
Mhm. All right, so we downloaded both of those. Now we're inside of Cricut Design Space, okay? And we're going to upload that file into Cricut Design Space. We're going to upload image, and then we're just going to go to browse. And that first SVG, I think that's in my, yep, here it is right here, I think. Is it? Yep. So I'm just going to pull that in. Now, already, did y'all see that, whoa, it's large? I already know right now. I already know before I even get there that these rhinestones are not made into a compound pass. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's one. So we're going to see how this is going to go. I'm going to select continue, and then we're going to select upload. And we're going to see how it's taking its time because those rhinestones are not, my software thinks that how many ever stones there are, that's how many rhinestones.
Yeah,
But if you,
so if you sent that to your machine,
we're
it
going to,
would probably just be lines of dots.
yes. So let's look at this now. So it came in, remember they said it needed to be a 10 by 10, right? So it came in as the correct size. At least that's what we see here so far. There are times where it won't come in at the correct size. So it may come in as like a 2 by 2, and you're like, what is happening? You have to resize it. Okay. So whatever the designer tells you it needs to be. So let's say if this came in as a 2 by 2, I would need to make sure that I resize the entire design, not just the rhinestone portion, the entire design. I need to make sure that this is a 10 by 10. This came in already grouped together, and it already came in with a bounding box around it. That's that black. So we want to make sure that that is the size. Okay. So now if I look here, let's see what this says. I was trying to see what the error said. It didn't tell me. But if I expand this, now we'll see all of these rhinestones. Oh, child, it's taking forever because that's a lot of rhinestones. All right. If I click down, yeah, I'm just trying to expand the drop down. Each of those rhinestones are their own individual parts right now. So for those of you who have heard me say compound path, compound path, compound path, this is why. Okay. So if you notice the actual size of the butterfly template right here, the butterfly on the inside is 9.6 by 9.29. But you always want to make sure the entire design is whatever the rhinestone creator says that it should be. The designer
Will you
says that.
check one of the holes, Patrice, before
Yeah,
you? Okay.
I am. I'm just trying to see if I need to just, okay. So if you look, this one is 0.119 by 0.119.
Ooh.
Ideally, ideally, you should want your SS10 stone sizes to be 0.13 by 0.13, at least. It can be 0.135, but you would want them to be 0.13 by 0.13. So already now with this design, I know that this is going to be a little bit smaller than what I need it to be. Because even though it says 0.12 here, but it's really up here, the exact size is 0.119 by 0.119. Okay. My SS10 designs are 0.13. If you've used Silhouette Studio, you know that that's the basic, like that's the starting point for your SS10 rhinestones. What happens is that if you cut it smaller, if it's not that size, your rhinestone template may be a lot harder to brush in, and you may need to pick up your wax pen a little bit more and manually place some of those into the holes. All right. So I always start my SS10 designs out as 0.13 by 0.13. I would usually fix this inside of Silhouette Studio. Okay. That's where I would usually fix this at. If you're here in Cricut Design Space, it's not really, you can contour it out, but this is not like one design. I think they're all individual stones. Let me see if I could do, yeah, they're all, if I ungroup them, you would have to contour it and then, but I can't, I don't even think I can nope, I can't contour it from here. And that's because they're not all attached. So let's go ahead and see if we can do it by attaching it, right? Let's see. So if I select all, no, let me just select all of that. I'm going to select the butterfly and then the crosses, and I'm just going to see about attaching. Maybe if I weld it together, let's weld it. Let's weld it together and see.
Weld it together and then slice it out of the back square.
Yeah, I was going to see about changing the size of it. So we have the butterfly. Let's go, and we welded it together. Let's go to contour and let's see if we can. I'm going to get this one. Let's hide all contours. Well, I kind of want to hide them all. Okay, so the one that I'm picking is right there. Now, when you're doing this, you have to be careful because sometimes if those stones are very close to each other and you increase the size of the hole, you could have some overlapping rhinestones. Okay, so this works for some designs depending on the amount of space in between each design. Okay. All right. Did it hide it? I can't even tell if it hit it or not. Let's see if we hide all contours. I couldn't tell if it did. Did it hide it? I can't tell, y'all. It did. It might have. I think it did. I just want to show one. No, it didn't. Let's see. Let's see.
Just because this came in at the wrong size, that's not a design issue. Now, to me, the fact that those holes weren't made into a compound path, that's a design issue. But a lot of them don't come in right. Mine have been coming in, like I take every design that I make into Cricut just to make sure it, comes in right and all that. Oh, I see one up in the top left corner. But when I took my newest one into Cricut yesterday, it came in at about 4 inches by 4 inches, and it's obviously much larger than that. So I put the dimensions in the name of the file as well as my Etsy listing, so you know what to resize it to get it to its intended size.
All right, so I was able to contour it out, and I have one little hole there. So I'm going to select apply if it ever stops thinking. If it ever stops thinking, I'm going to select apply. Oh, I wish I would have showed you guys. I welded it together, but I'm going to bring it in again so you guys will see what happens if it's not welded together. I literally, did it go to apply? Let's see, apply. Okay, so now I just have this one on the screen, right? I clicked apply, and now I just have the one on the screen. If you look here, it's over here, right? I'm going to head up to the dimensions panel, and we're going to change the 13 by 0.13. So as you guys see, it's 0.13. Now, if you feel more comfortable with like 1 point or 0.135, 0.132, a little bit larger than 0.13, then you can absolutely do larger than 0.13. I'm doing 0.13. Now I've changed this one circle. We're going to head back down to contour. And then I'm going to click show all contours and click apply. Once I did that, now all of those holes are 0.13. Okay, now they're all 0.13. Maybe on our next Bling Society, we'll show it in Silhouette Studio, how to do that in Silhouette Studio. But that's how you can change it to where they're all the same size. Now, remember I said you just have to be careful when you're doing it. This looks like there was enough space in between those holes, so we won't have overlapping rhinestones, even though some of these look like they're touching. But if I maximize the screen a little bit, we'll really be able to tell if they're touching or not. So y'all see okay, so they're not really touching. They're not touching. It just kind of looked like that a little bit, but they're not touching at all. All right, so I'm going to reduce the size. of this a bit. All right,
And
y'all.
for all the new people out there, rhinestoning does not have to be this complicated. This
No.
doesn't have to be this complicated. This just isn't the way it should be.
Yes, that's not how it should be.
But
So if
it's
you
good to problem solve.
Yes. So I'm gonna ungroup this because you don't want to resize it. You guys see how I went to resize it and I did undo. So if you click onto, I just have the black selected and I'm just gonna make this a little bit longer and wider so that when it cuts this bounding box, it does not cut through those stones, right? You want your bounding box to be wider. When we changed the hole size, it actually made the design a little bit larger. What happens is that you get a lot of people who, and no, this is like literally no shade to like any designers, but you get a lot of people who know that there's people who want rhinestone templates and then they dive into creating these designs and things and they don't really know all the logistics behind it. So you get situations, and this may not be their situation. They may use that size for their SS10 stones. I don't know. But you do get a lot of people who, you know, they're designers. They're not necessarily the people who are actually making the shirts, right? So you want to make sure that you always check your files when you get them. You want to check your files when you get them from me, because let me just let you guys know, I create a lot of my designs in the middle of the night. Okay, I could be half sleeping, I could be watching TV, listening to true crime, and I may not get it right all the time, right? So you always want to make sure that you are checking your designs to check those rhinestone sizes, make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. Okay, now that we have this like this is the bounding box. I'm going to select both of these now, and then I'm just going to attach it together. I know y'all can't see that because the holes are now black, but this is ready to go through the cutter. So when I go to make, image too large. Oh, because we have the joy selected. So let's say I'm going to go to the maker. Let's say we do make it. I know it's not connecting. There's no maker there. Don't save. All right. So if we go here, you'll see that this is all going to be on one. We're going to do on the map. Okay. That's how it's going to cut. That's your one rhinestone template. All right, you don't have to do anything else. You're all set. This is going to cut. It's going to cut a box around it. So you can just remember how I peeled mine off and it was in that box. That's how it will cut. Okay. So I'm going to select cancel because we're not really going to cut that. I do want to bring that design back in again because I want to show you, if you don't do what we did, what will happen. So let's go ahead and bring that one back in. And y'all know I've been having like major drama with my circuit.
And also, I think probably most designers design without a bounding box.
Yeah.
And often the bounding box, like I had a lady get a hold of me because they got one from a man that used bounding boxes or whatever you want to call it. And that it didn't register how to do it. You know, you could just have cut both at the same time. You're still going to have circles in there because it wasn't showing that it would have circles, or you could weld it and slice. But like, I don't put bounding boxes on mine, but my cutting software will automatically add one if I want.
All right, y'all. So I had to re-upload the design into Cricut Design Space just because the one that I did before, all the changes that I made to it on the canvas, it registers like it was already welded when I brought it back in. So that, you know, maybe that's a good thing. All right, so here's is it doing it again? Okay, here's the file again. And so when I expand it, remember before we had to weld all of those stones together? So y'all see, you know, all of those stones there, right? We didn't weld it together. So think about what we just saw when we did all of that. We welded it, we attached it, we changed the stone size and all of that. If I go to make now, hold on, make. If I go to make now, you'll see it's taking a good little minute. And then we click make because it's just a lot of stones, right? Let's say if we don't do any of that stuff and we don't check, this is what will happen. If y'all have any, y'all see how it's taking forever because all those circles
It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah. I usually sometimes I do welding or attached. It just depends on my mood that day, but you can definitely weld it to the weeding box. All right, so if I click on that, click confirm, because y'all know with block and Cricut, you're going to be using a mat all the time.
There you go. I use combine and then I go to unite. I never use weld anymore really because you can undo unite and you can't undo weld.
Oh, very true. You can't undo unite. All right,
That's a lovely design.
do y'all see the design now? This is what that design will look like because it wasn't in Cricut Design Space. That's why I do the make compound path, because if you don't, and let's say if you have somebody who doesn't really know, like if this is your first time doing this and you're like, oh, I'm just going to send this to Cricut, this is what will happen if you don't do all of that stuff beforehand, if it comes in like that. All right. So anytime you get a design, a rhinestone design that comes in with the orange warning that, whoa, this is too big, this is too large, just know that you need to do that work that we just did. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in one more and then we're going to start brushing in our template. I'm going to cancel this because honey, it's just too much. It's too much. All right. Let me go ahead. We're going to delete it. You see how it slows down the computer? It slows down the software. It just slows it down. So check your designs first, y'all. Hopefully it doesn't shut it down on me. You see, it slows it down. Rows of circles. That's it.
There you go.
We're going to delete it. And we're going to delete the other one. Because even though that design was kind of cute, I actually liked it.
It was.
I liked with the butterfly, right? That's cute. I should have cut it out, but we don't have enough time to do that. All right, so let's go to upload. I'm going to upload again. It's deleting whatever it's deleting still. It's probably still deleting these thousands of rows. And the reason why rhinestone designs do that is because when they're not made into a compound path, those are thousands of stones, thousands of circles. So the design software thinks that you're trying to import 1,000 images into the software. So that's why this happens. Yeah, it takes a while. It does too much. Let's see if I can upload that other design in. Okay, I can. All right, let's go to upload image. Let's go to browse. It's like it's still thinking though. All right, let's go to documents. Let's see if I can find that other SVG that was different colors. I want you guys, is it this one? I think it might be this one. Okay.
Yep.
See, it came in the same way. Oh my goodness. Whoa, that's a large image. Let's go to continue. Let's go to upload. So this one is 3 colors, right? Now we're not really going to worry about the size of the stone for this one because we already saw how to fix the stone size in the last one. This one is just so that you know when you have a design like this that's 3 different colors, you have to separate those layers. Can you cut this design out altogether? The way this designer did it, you absolutely can. Let's say if you don't want 3 colors, you can have just a 1 color design. But if you want 3 colors, you have to separate these 3 layers, okay? And to do that, let's just expand it. And then let's expand it a little more. And it doesn't look like he or she has the colors separated in groups. So you will have to try to pull out the material colors, all right? Yeah, I'll see all those. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do like a material color thing here. Oh, where's my teacher life? Okay, let me bring this up, bring that up, bring this up. All right, so I'm going to, let's see if I could I'm going to ungroup it, right? So we're going to, let me click onto here, right click. Can I ungroup it from here? Or is it already ungrouped? Oh, it's already ungrouped. Let me see if the blue is grouped together too. I thought it was, let me move this out of the way. I literally thought that this was just ungrouped.
And I know it was because you dragged it.
But you see, Cricut is going crazy. Y'all see, it's just Okay,
that would be very frustrating as a newbie if you don't know why and what's going on. That'd be Very frustrating.
Yes, it's frustrating as me.
Yeah.
I just know a little bit, but this is just too much. So let's say if we move this out of the way, right? We had to ungroup it, right? Now it did come in as the 10 by 10 with the bounding box and everything. It came in what they said it should come in, because I don't want you guys to forget that that's the first thing that you have to pay attention to is the size of the design. And so for this design, they say that it's a 10 by 10. Hey, Mama, bye. All right, so now we're going to see if we can pull just the green. So let me select the material color here. I don't, oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if I could do that with just the material color. Let me see. Oh, this is grouped together too. Let me see if that, ungroup that.
And I don't really even understand that bounding box, because one bounding box for 3 layers.
Exactly. But so the bound, it doesn't make sense, but the one thing you want to make sure is that if something comes in all together, size all of it. Like size the whole design and then just delete what you don't need, because it doesn't make sense, because you need 3. You don't need the box. Marilyn doesn't use, you do you use your bounding boxes? No, you don't need it.
I have my Caesar cutting machine add its own weeding box. And if I cut on a Cricut, I don't use one. I just cut the flock out by hand.
So you'll see how this is. I can't even. So I selected the material color, but you can't do like a select by color with this, can you?
Is it 3 separate layers though? Can you just pick the green layer?
Yeah, I just picked the green layer, but it didn't. It's not just that.
I think your Cricut's dying anyway.
Huh?
Your Cricut is just going crazy.
It's going crazy. It is. It's going really crazy. But it's not selecting. Yeah, this one is. I don't. This is like this is why this doesn't work in Cricut. Let me. So if I think I'm missing some too. Still, I was just gonna select all of those because it's not like you can do like a select by color like how we can do inside of Silhouette Studio. Now probably I just expand this and then. Let me click out. So if I select, I was gonna see if I selected that, but it's not even selecting the dots for me when I click it. Can y'all see me?
I wonder if it's because it's still processing something.
It may be still processing, but it's not getting it.
Green line going across the top, I would assume it's still working on something.
Honey, I'm just gonna tell y'all, get Silhouette Studio, the business edition. It'll save you a lot of headaches like this, because then you could just fix this in Silhouette Studio and not have to worry about. All right, so I'm gonna do it like this, okay? But this doesn't work for all designs. Okay, that's not gonna work for all designs. It works for this one because he kind of breaks, he or she like has a hard break there. So then I could just go ahead and right click this and make it into a compound pad. So when you're doing multiple colors, when you're designing, you need to group those colors together. I hope for anybody who has taken my class, you guys understand why I tell you to by color. I hope y'all understand. Like, because that's not a thing that everybody is doing. So let's say we go ahead, we can either group this together or I could just go ahead and attach it, or I would weld this together. So I'm just going to select all of that blue, just creating this bounding box. Oh, I got a purple there too. I don't want that purple. I just want the blues. Well, I don't want the blues, but I don't want those. I just want these little blues right here. All right, so we're just going to select all of those. I'm going to right click and group that together. It really shouldn't be this, especially for if you're new, it shouldn't be this difficult. But this is what happens when you get rhinestone designs from other places. Like, you should learn how to make your own rhinestone designs. All right, let me select all of this. I'm going to right click. I'm going to group this together. I'm going to start brushing in my template in a second. We're going to group that together. And now I grouped all the different colors together. This was easier to break down, but all designs are not like this. Like as far as being broken down like this, especially mine. Mine are never like this. So you can go ahead and weld this together. I'm just gonna weld it, or you can unite it, but we're not gonna really be changing any of these. If I click here, weld that together, and then I'm gonna click the green and weld the green together. Remember how when we had the butterfly and we went to make it, how all of those rhinestones were just in rows? That's what would happen with this too. They would all just be in rows. Let's weld that together. All right, so now we have our 3 different layers, and y'all see that just reduced the amount of stones. Welding in Cricut Design Space is like making it into a compound path. All right, so if we go to make it, we can't even make it. Cricut is going crazy, y'all. Sorry. But this is what we have. So now we have it broken up. And if you go to make it, you would be able to see now we have those 3 layers. That black box is somewhere over here. We don't really need it. And if you want to, though, you can make your own box around this. So let's say if I go to shapes and we click onto this little square, I'm going to unlock it. And then you can kind of make your own bounding box because you don't really need that much. The circle. I'm going to send that to the back so we can kind of see where it's at. And that looks good, right? And then you're going to, and then you would just do the same thing we did before, select all of that, and you can attach it. I usually do attach. Once you click attach, come on. We're going to change the color so we can see it. There it is. Okay, so that'll cut out just like that with that weeding box around it. Cricut is Cricut. It definitely is Cricut and Kristen. It definitely is. Girl. Like I be trying to give Cricut its time to shine. I do.
I still love Cricut. Their software.
They got to get themselves better.
I just use their software to tell my cutter to cut.
Yes.
Make it somewhere else. Just use it to tell it to cut.
Child, the drama. All right. Press back on because it keeps blowing a fuse. It keeps like stopping. I'm going to have to put it on another wall. All right. So we're ready to brush some stones in. Now we can talk a little bit about Hotfix Rhinestones. Marilyn, I know you already brushed your design in.
No, I didn't. I just have it ready, but I was going to show. So this design, you have Ben, which actually is closer to her, but I moved it after I ungrouped it. And then you have the outline, the top ombre of the fill, the bottom ombre of the fill. I just moved them all apart. I got all 4 layers on one 12 by 12. So what then I do is I go ahead and I tape off what I'm not going to be brushing in right now. So I have one piece of tape to separate the outline from the above. And I'm going to start with brushing in the outline. Now, when it comes time, because that tells me where everything else goes. This is like, you know, if you do jigsaw puzzles, some people do the outside first and then they start working in. That's kind of like that. But I'm going to do the outline first. But what I do have to remember is I have a couple inches up here of design that I need to be able to fit above it. So when I put this on my shirt, I have to leave a couple of inches so that it's not bumping against my collar, so that the top of the design is, 3 inches down. And so this is going to start about 5 inches down. And because Patrice and I are twins, I'm copying the exact color she used the other day. Which I think was Icy Crystal AB for the outline. It was magenta for the top part of the ombre. It was Icy Crimson for the bottom half. And what did you use for the word Ben?
Oh, I use Icy Crystal AB.
Okay. I was thinking about maybe Neon White AB for the word Ben.
Oh, that might be a good
Although
top.
I really liked how yours showed. So I think I'll just stay with the Icy Crimson for both. In that case, I could have left those together if I knew I was going to use one color for the whole layer, but this gives me more options with it being separated. So That's what I'm gonna do.
It's gonna look wonderful. All right, y'all. We've made it to the fun part. Right? We've made it to the part that you want to make it to. Because you want to skip all that other stuff, but you cannot skip all that other stuff. You're gonna cause yourself a headache. You're gonna buy all these materials and you're gonna be wasting it because you're gonna have a headache. Because you're gonna skip all that stuff. Don't skip it. Okay? This is what this is gonna lead to. Okay? So this is my template. I'm gonna start out with Icy Crystal AB. Now the rhinestone size for these stones, let me just show you guys the pink first. I'm using magenta, black, and Icy Crystal AB. This is it's gonna be really pretty.
See, I wait for you to do your template first, see what colors you use, and then I know what to do.
Really?
Really?
Real hot mess.
Oh.
So I'm
Patrice?
Huh?
Oh, you go ahead. You're still instructing.
No. What's up?
When you do a jigsaw puzzle, do you start in the center or the inside? How do you do it?
I start with those corners. I need the outer edge first, and then I'll go from the outside to the inside.
Kristen asked who doesn't go from the outside to the inside. And I have a feeling that, like, my daughter, who's very creative, she probably would start on the inside. She would probably just look for things that look alike and put them together and then put all of them together at the end. I start on the outside.
Yeah, I start on the outside. V, it's all an illusion. V, if I move this table, y'all be like, what's going on? I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's slowly inching its way up. In a minute, I'm gonna be stuck in between because there's so much stuff behind it. Look at poor Gaston over there with all those rhinestone templates on. It's bad. It is. All right. Hey, but Brandy said she does her puzzles like your daughter. So we're going to be using SS10, right? Both Marilyn and I are using SS10. This is my favorite size. This is SS6. But this is the difference. This is very important to know when you're getting rhinestone templates, either when you're buying rhinestone templates or when you're designing your rhinestone templates. You need to know what size, because if you have an SS6 template, your SS10 rhinestones will not fit in that template. All right. If you have an SS10 template and you have SS6 rhinestones, those rhinestones can go into the SS10, but it's going to be so crazy because you can fit two of them inside of it. It's not, you need to know exactly.
And they'll be messy. They wouldn't line up very well.
No.
You know, you're not going to get those SS6s in the exact center of an SS10 hole.
No, at all. So you guys see, I keep freezing, but you guys see the difference kind of in the size. There is a huge difference. SS6 is a lot bigger. I mean, SS10 is a lot larger than SS6. All right, so I want you guys to kind of look at this size. Don't pay attention to all the lines in my hand, but you'll see the size, the difference in the size. And honestly, on camera, this looks a lot bigger than what they are. But you see the difference, SS10, SS6. Hotfix rhinestones come in various sizes. Okay, they go SS20, SS30. I even have some Hotfix rhinestones that's SS40. But to make sure that you know the size of your stones prior to cutting and getting rhinestones. Okay, so that's the difference. The 6, I prefer the smaller template. I mean the smaller rhinestones, but y'all prefer the SS10. So y'all always making me make SS10 times. Okay. Yes, I'm blaming you guys for that. And you can get these rhinestones. You can get rhinestones from the baby's booty. If you're just starting out and you're practicing, you're not really sure if you want to get into bling like that, if you just want to test some things out, try some stuff, you can get some of the stones from like Amazon, but I do want to let you guys know they're not as sparkly. So when you see our shirts and Marilyn's shirt, my shirt, Marilyn's shirts, or anybody's shirts who uses the baby's booties rhinestones, just know that, you know, the bling is blinging. The bling blings.
But we started with Amazon stones. I mean, If you want to get, like I had a package that came with, gosh, maybe 10 different colors of smaller amounts, and it was, I don't know how much it was. It wasn't that expensive. And that's what I started with. That was before Eve started selling stones, but you know, you can get a lot of different colors for not too bad of a price.
And I've used stones from Amazon too, Heat Transfer Warehouse. I've used from the Rhinestone World. I've used stones from various places too. But if you're just starting, you know, Eve has a beginner, like a starter kit. You get like your supplies and your bling. You get like, so you can test it out. See if you like it. You may not like, you may just like to get blingy shirts. You may not necessarily want to make them, right?
Yeah.
So if you notice, I poured a mound of rhinestones onto this template. That's because they help, like as you're brushing them in, they'll knock each other into place. So you see how I'm going in like a circular motion? That's like the best way to. I don't always go in a circular motion, but this is definitely how we're going to get those stones in. But you do want to pour a generous amount of stones onto your template. I think the only person that I see that pours like almost the exact amount of stones is Eve, but she's a different type of blinger. She's super experienced. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Patrice, I have something on the top, the Teflon that covers the top of my heat press, and it got stuck on my shirt, but I'm getting it all off.
How did
So I'm going to be covered over my shirt with another Teflon sheet or parchment paper or something.
Oh.
But I got it off.
Got it off?
For the most part, yes.
And what kind of shirt are you using?
This is just a Gildan, basic Gildan shirt from Michael's, $2.99.
That's what I'm using, a Gildan from Michael's.
And of course, I love bling on black shirts. That is my preferred color for rhinestones because it just shows off the color so beautifully. So I'm using a black shirt.
I like black too.
Then I'm going to find the center by folding my shirt in two and then pressing a crease in.
Like these are stones, even though I put a lot on there, just know that you can use, you know, these stones are still usable. The ones that I'm brushing off right now, these don't go in the garbage. This is not like scrap vinyl. Okay, you don't throw it in the garbage. You keep it for the next shirt. And I'm leaving. Usually, I try to fill in those holes while I'm brushing because if you notice, like there's a few holes missing stones, and I'm not gonna like fill them in as I'm doing it like this because I want to show you how you would use your wax.
So when he was asking about containers to put your rhinestones in, yes, you can definitely get some on Amazon. For stones that I have that aren't in little containers, I bought containers at the Dollar Tree store. So whatever you're comfortable with. But I know they do have, like Eve sends hers in acrylic containers. They do have acrylic containers on Amazon as well, clear acrylic containers.
Yeah. You have one of Eve's containers?
I don't have any of her large ones. I can grab one in a minute.
If you can. Because that way, I like, for the containers that I use, I like to use plastic ones with the lid, the screw-on lid, because I'm super duper paranoid about them falling. And I like to use the plastic containers with the screw-on lid, right? And I got those from Amazon. I have what you call it right here.
So I'm going to find the center of my rhinestone design by putting the two edges of the design together. Not the two edges of this transfer tape, but the two edges of the design. And then I'm going to put little creases to know where the center is, and then put that on the crease that I just pressed in my shirt. And then remember, I have to have this down about 5 inches to have room for the words above it. But I think what I'll do is before I press this, I'll go ahead and I'll fill the row above it in so I can lay it down and see how it would look.
And you're doing an ombre, right, Marilyn? That's ombre. So
Yeah.
the ombre is not necessarily a beginner-friendly type of design, but Marilyn is going to show us how she's going to do her ombre because you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. Placement is very, very, very important. So it's not like you're just going to put it down. Like you literally have to pay attention to how it lines up. All right, I'm going to do... Oh, I need to show you guys the transfer tape. So now this is where the transfer tape is going to come into play. The Hotfix transfer tape. Whew. When I first started, this was what scared me the most, and it actually did scare me. So I'm gonna grab a piece of transfer tape and cut a piece off. You know what? I'm gonna use an old piece that I have right here. Maybe I should use a new piece, but I'll use an old piece. So this is the transfer tape. I removed the backing from it. Now, so that I can get this on, you got to be careful. Don't place your transfer tape too close to the template because sometimes those rhinestones can jump up off of the template onto the transfer tape, and you don't want that. I'm just going to fold it like this and kind of hover it on top of the template. Then I'm just going to drop it down. Don't think about it. Don't hesitate because this is where you can mess up that template. And then you'll have to brush everything in again. Okay, and I know you don't want to do that because I don't like to do that. So I'm just going to hold it up like this. And we're going to go straight down. I had another hole flopped out right there, but it's fine because nobody can tell with that scatter. All right, so I'm just going to go here. And this is a used piece of transfer tape. You can reuse your transfer tape, but you don't want to overdo it. Okay, so I would say a good 4 times, even though I go more. But once you've used it a good 4 times, be careful because an old piece of transfer tape can mess up your template too. Not the template, but the rhinestones.
So I decided to approach this a little bit differently. Before I put the word bin above her, I'm going to do the top half of the ombre to know exactly where that little word up there goes. Because if I put it too far down, then my ombre wouldn't fit in correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and do the top half of the word her, the inside.
Now, when you pull it up, you want to kind of do it a little slowly because just in case all of the stones don't stick, because sometimes that is a thing. Sometimes they all, you may have a few that won't stick onto the transfer tape. So then you have to kind of put it back down to make sure it lifts up. So go slowly. Don't just rip it off. And then what I'm doing now is I have it on the back, right? So I'm just looking at the back of the rhinestones just to make sure that all of the rhinestones have that adhesive on the back. Remember we talked a little bit about flat back rhinestones and then a little bit about the Hotfix. I don't know if you guys can kind of see. I'm going to try to make the screen a little bit bigger so you can see what this looks like. Hold on, maybe. I'm going to go big for a second. All right, hopefully you guys can kind of see on the back. So the back of these stones, you see it's not shiny. Y'all see those tire tracks on the back of that? That's Hotfix. So if you have stones that have a shiny back, those are not Hotfix rhinestones. Those are flat back rhinestones. But if you look closely, you can see the tire tracks on the back of these stones, right? So that's what we're looking for. You want to make sure that all of these pretty much have the same color. It has that same gray with those tire tracks on the back. Now, it is possible that you may get, let's say I have these icy crystal AB stones, right? And let's say I bought another container from these, in previous buy-in. The color could be a little bit different. There could be a color variation of the backing. So I don't like to mix rhinestones. I don't like to mix them even if they're from the same person. Like I don't, because remember, when they're being manufactured, they may be just like the flock. They may use different ways of doing it, different materials. You just can't be too sure. So I don't like that. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to place this right here on top. We're going to place the backing right back on top. I think I put it on the wrong side, but it's fine. And now I can just hold this over here on the side for a little bit. All right, so now we're going to keep rushing it. I need to hurry up because it's already 8:58. Marilyn, we've been talking a lot, girl.
Yeah. Been good talk.
Yes. Now I'm going to flip this over and we're going to brush this in because Darica's probably already going on. I didn't see her thumbnail, but she's probably already going on. All right, I'm just going to put this on here and we're going to brush this the same way, okay? This color is jet black. This is jet black. And I'm just using this to help with like a little bit of separation from the magenta that I'm going to use for the inside and the icy crystal AB for that scatter that I'm using.
Rosetta cut her first rhinestone template. Yay!
Congratulations. It went well. Where did she say? I don't see it. Hold on. Oh, I see. Congratulations. Listen, once you start, once you get started and figure it out, like that's all she wrote.
Let's see. If a stone or two doesn't lift off the template, should I try to put it on the tape or on the shirt when I'm ready to press it? So that's why Patrice was saying lift up slowly, because if you have a stone that stays in, put that tape right back down, rub on the top of it. But sometimes you might pull it all up and not notice. Mm-hmm. I don't like putting my rhinestones back down on the template so much because it's hard to get them in the exact right place. You might kind of bump against the edge of your cut. You might knock it out of place. So if you just have one or two, then I would just place those by hand after you press that layer. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. But I have two right there that didn't come up. So before I pull the whole thing up, I'm just going to press it back down and use my thumb and really push on it. And that time they came up.
Yep. And I want you guys to know, like, a lot of the different things that we know and that we told you guys, we did not just one night have all the answers. Again, we've been doing this for about 5 years now, and it's been a lot of times I've been on lives and I've been halfway crying because I've messed up a template. I've done all types of crazy things. Like it wasn't, always working for me. But you keep going. I still mess things up.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So it's like, but I love doing it. And you just gotta be patient. Give yourself some grace.
So Patrice was talking earlier about when you're layering it inside the outline, and I know you can't see my desk because if I have the overhead thing on, you're going to have that echo again. But what you can do, let me see if I can turn my camera down just a little bit.
Bigger?
Sure.
Okay. Y'all know I have to ask permission, right?
Okay. Can you see my shirt there, Patrice?
Yep.
Okay. My head will probably be cut off, but that's okay. That does not matter. Okay, so as I'm doing this, sometimes once you press your shirt, it might expand, it might relax and get a little spread out, it might contract. And so as you're laying all the different letters together, like this one isn't quite in the right place, so I'm gonna lift up the R, I'm gonna stretch on my shirt just a little bit. And then that allowed it, adjust over here, just kind of baby your shirt. But that allowed me to get that set in there just beautiful. So here's what it looks like before I press this layer.
Looking
Hey,
good.
Patrice, what do you think? I'm not going to do it, but even like jet black in the bottom would be pretty.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty. Jet black would be really pretty.
Mhm. So we'll press that, and then we're going to really concentrate on getting the next layer in as well.
Mm. Looking good, Mirror Bear. Looking good.
Thank you. And this is Patrice's design. It's in craftable.things.com. And there's been her, still her. Very cute. I love them. Mo Baby, I don't know what font it is. Blink, let us know you're okay with being made bigger. Okay. Blink, 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 blink. Now, with these stones, the instructions are to go ahead and remove the transfer tape when it comes off the press. I know that when I first started, there were some that said, wait until the transfer tape or wait until the rhinestones cool off before you pull the transfer tape. I think their thinking was you wanted that glue to really be set before you pull off the back. But the instructions for this say, go ahead and remove it when it comes off the press. So we have our first layer of ombre. Looks very good. So now we're going to layer in, we could either do the top or the bottom, but I'll go ahead and do the bottom.
That looks so good.
I love it. It looks so familiar.
I know that she was just about to say, okay, you can make me smaller now. I knew it was coming. Right, so I'm gonna put this just like this. And this is the magenta. And we're going to brush this in. And we're almost done with this, y'all.
And magenta is the color I used on the top half of her.
So pretty.
Mm-hmm.
If I was feeling creative, I probably would have tried to do it in two different colors, like the top of girl. Oh, we should have showed that too. But you talked a little bit about using your painter's tape. Because
yeah,
let's say if I wanted to make this two different colors, I could have put painter's tape on like all over girl and only brushed in the top color and then remove the painter's tape and brush this in a different color. But painter's tape, I think we need to add that as like materials you need when you're blinging.
I use it almost every design.
Yeah.
Because I like to leave my, I just lifted that and bumped it. I like to leave my design on like one piece of flock instead of cutting the flock up. Mm-hmm. So I like my design to be fairly close together. So that reason I use painter's tape.
Painter's tape. And I don't know if you guys can tell right here, but there's a stone, like a crystal stone. Somehow I got it into that magenta. So I just used that wax pen to get it out of the way. All right, we're going to move this here.
Did you watch either Dateline or 2020 last night, Patrice?
I watched Dateline and then I fell asleep though. I don't know, I was super tired yesterday.
Good for you. That is good.
Yes,
I watched both shows, so now I don't know which one was on Dateline, which one was on 2020, but they were both good.
They were good. What was the Dateline about the vanishing? So I did see part of it. I need to watch it tonight. I think.
Was it about the wedding venue or something happened at a wedding venue?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I gotta finish it. And then 2020 was good. Well, 2020 Dateline was good.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch Dateline too then. That's what I'll do tonight. I watched some movie. Who was that? I can't. Goodness, I watched a movie today. Well, I didn't really watch it. I was half sleeping.
So somebody asked earlier if a stone doesn't come up. Like I have a stone down there and it just doesn't want to come out because sometimes there's really sticky parts. of the flock that just grab on to that stone and won't let go.
Mhm.
There we go, finally. And you really shouldn't have to use a brayer tool to do that, but sometimes you have to.
Sometimes it just is what it is. guys.
Sometimes you just have to.
Sometimes it is what it is.
Hey, Cookie.
Let's cookie cook. Yeah, y'all. Hopefully this has been helpful.
Hey, Natasha.
No. All right.
So when you're doing ombre, take your time because it is very easy to get your stones down in there, but they're not quite in the right place, and so you get jaggedy instead of the way it was meant to be.
Mhm.
And it's going to look so much better if it goes in the way it was meant to go in. Take your time. If you have to, cut your letters apart. You can do that too. I've done that. Sometimes I have to do that. This one's not giving me too much trouble though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have anything to do with the design. It has to do with your shirt contracting or, whoops, I had a stone flip. Contracting or loosening.
But ombre can be a little bit challenging in general. Just
Yeah.
it can be challenging.
Yes. But it's so pretty.
I don't have an instructional assistant life. I don't have one of those. Maybe I gotta add that to the list, but it's a lot of other things I have on my list, girl.
What are you talking about?
For like how I have the teacher life.
Yes.
Winnie Lane is so good. Girl.
Talking about Scarpetta last night. What is that?
Okay, so you know how James Patterson usually gets all the love. I am a huge James Patterson fan, y'all. I've been a James Patterson fan since in my teens. But I also am a huge Patricia Cornwell fan, and since my teens too. And Scarpetta is about a character based on her series of books. Like it's like a lot of stuff, and I think you'll love it, Marilyn.
It's a series now?
Yeah, on Amazon, I think. I think it's
Amazon.
Okay. I think you'll love it.
Sheila White. She says, I think I'm ready to get started now. Yay.
You got this, Sheila. You got this, girl. You got this. But yeah, I think you'll like it.
Well, I need to find something because Tim and I, when we find something we like, we binge watch it, and then we're like, now what?
Yep. What's the other show we were watching? Like
Murder Party? Was that the murder?
Is it called Murder Party?
What was it called? Well, that one. We watched it. It was good.
That one's good. And then, so hopefully season 2. I don't see. I have another one. One of mine didn't come up, so I'm going to do the same thing Marilyn did. Just put it back down. But you want to go slowly, right? Just in case that happens. Look, I have another one. I'm going to go back down. Lift up. Uh-oh, another one. That's because I didn't press it really good, probably. All right.
Hi, Nicole.
Which Nicole is that?
Holbrook.
Oh, hey, Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
And then Nicole Precious Pieces is in here too.
Nomi. Hey, Nomi. All right, y'all. So we got, I'm just checking to make sure that my backs look good, and they do. Oh, there's only one episode out. I can't wait to watch it. Maybe I want to do Dateline and 2020 tonight, and then how I am. All right, so we're ready to press our shirts. So you treat that press just like you would treat HTV or anything else. You want to make sure you lint roll your garment, and then you want to make sure you give it a nice little pre-press. Okay. You want to make sure. So I'm just going to lint roll, and then I'll pre-press it. But come on, lint roller, act right. Act like you know what you're doing. All right. Lint roll. I'm gonna take this over to the heat press and pre-press it to get that moisture out.
The pit. The pit.
Yeah.
I think Sandra talked about something about the pit. That sounds familiar. The pit. Have I seen the pit?
Is it a series?
I don't know.
So here is our shirt. And we're going to get ready to place it. Now I'm going to start from the outside in. I usually do. Or sometimes I'll start with the outline, but I'm going to start with the outside in first since I'm using a black outline. Using jet black rhinestones can either make you or break you. So you know they're not the easiest color to use when you're working with the black shirt. So I want to show this because this is the scatter, right? So the scatter goes beyond like the inner parts of the design. So you want to make sure that you leave enough space at the top so that your scatter, or if you have another part that goes on the outline, like how Marilyn has been her and she put that on, last, you don't want it to go so far up to where it's right underneath your neckline. Okay, so that's what you want. We're pretty good. And I'm going to press this just like this. All right, I'm going to press it. And then we'll press the inside. The pit, the complete season is 1 day.
Oh my.
So for my template, girl, I've said the font 1,000 times, and like I said 1,000, and I said I was not gonna say it again because one, I searched for this font because I liked it, but I did spend time to actually look for a font that I wanted to use for these types of designs. But I have said it, I've shared it a few times on Facebook. I've shared it every time I make a design like this and show everybody on our lives. There's like a few lives where I actually say it. So this is going to be the last time I say it because somebody actually did make a design just like me, like saying the same thing I said. And I'm like, on my design, I get kind of over stuff like that. So I'm going to tell y'all where I get my fonts from. And you too can spend hours and hours and hours researching fonts that you like. So I go on Fabrica and I get rhinestone fonts. Or these aren't even rhinestone fonts. These are just regular fonts that I get, and then I convert them into rhinestones when I'm doing my designs. So for anybody that's new, I'm going to tell you guys a few different things. So you can go on Creative Fabrica. You can also go on font bundles, on design bundles, and they have fonts that you can use and you get a creative license for it. The creative license does not mean that you can take somebody else's font and then turn them into rhinestone font. So let's say if I just wanted to say, okay, I'm going to turn this G into a font, the I into, or rhinestone font, the I. You cannot do that, but you can create it. You can use it to create custom designs like this. Okay, but you can't just take it and then try to resell it. So you have to be careful with that. And you also want to make sure that you read all of the licensing for these fonts, because guess what? You could get yourself caught up if you're using it and it's a font that you're not supposed to be using commercially. Okay, so you need to make sure that you check that. This font is called, and I'm telling you in the chat, this is the last time I'm ever going to say the font that I use for these types of designs because I literally have said it 1,000 times. This is Twinkle Christmas. Okay, it's Twinkle Christmas. It is on Creative Fabrica. That's where I got it from. But this is the last time that I'm going to say it because for anybody who's in business, you know why this is the last time I'm saying it. All right, we're almost done.
I am done. I'm loving it. Okay, you guys, this is exactly how Patrice made her shirt the other day.
Do you love it? I'm gonna make you better. Love it?
Because we are twins, she allows me to do this.
I don't care if you use the same thing. My issue is when people ask me for my font, they're like, "What font did you use?" It's not my font because I don't own it. And then they go and they literally do instead of supporting me, they literally will go and make a girl template and then be selling it too. Like, you don't think
trying to sell theirs. That is rude. That is rude.
So, like, no, go research your own. Yeah. And this is not to anybody in here because none of y'all did that to me, but somebody did do it to me. None of you guys did it. But go research your own stuff. Like, go look for fonts that you like. Like, that's bad business.
If you're gonna copy somebody else's to make it and sell, that's not good. Now, Patrice is teaching because she wants us to make the things and stitch out things and all that as hobbyists, but not take exactly what she does, redo it, and then turn around and put that in your own shop. I totally understand.
All right, y'all, my rant is over. Let me make Marilyn bigger. My rant is over.
This is maybe the prettiest shirt I own.
No, it's not. That looks so good.
This is.
Yes, you're gonna wear that because you've been her, Marilyn. You've been.
I love pink. And I'm a big red person, but it just goes so well in here with the pink.
That looks so good.
Yes. I can't hold a straight shirt for some reason, or a shirt straight for some reason on camera, but I love it. Love it. This design is in Patrice's shop. And I did put a link to the shop up above just a little ways so you could go check out her designs. Okay, I'm going to put my camera back up now. Oh, Patrice, you make me smaller now.
Oh my goodness, she's so
Since I got up and walked off so I could fix my camera.
So dramatic. Like,
That's the only reason I got up and walked off. You know that.
She's so dramatic, y'all. Get yourself together. Being a
Carmen loves pink too. It's so pretty. I can't take credit for this. This is all Patrice. Oh my
God. Good.
I'm wearing it tomorrow.
Now, so remember the ombre, like the thing when we first started doing ombre, I used to like to do like the solid color with the AB color. So like rose and then AB. And
yes.
But doesn't it make it like with that pink or the magenta and the crimson, doesn't that look so good and it just blends like
it does. It does. I mean, it adds a little dimension to it because it is truly two colors. So it adds some dimension to it, but it blends in beautifully.
That looks so good.
There we go. Oh my God. So pretty.
It looks great.
So it's Icy Crystal AB for the outline and the word bin. Magenta for the top half of her and Icy Crimson.
Yep.
Yes, Icy Crimson for the bottom half.
It's so pretty.
I love it.
That magenta and Icy Crimson together looks so good. Icy Crimson is my favorite red.
I know you're not a huge red person, but you love Icy Crimson. Guys, she talked about Icy Crimson. Like on the phone. She loves Icy Crimson.
I do. I do. I love icy crimson.
I'm surprised she hasn't said it's her favorite color yet.
No, why would I say that?
Because you say that about all the stones.
Magenta's my favorite. Well,
Oh, okay.
black diamond.
Well, icy onyx. Well,
Obsidian.
My absolute favorite stone is icy crystal AB.
Icy crystal AB. Silver crystal metalite.
If I could only have one color, it would be this color.
Y'all, she's a trader. What happened to Labrador?
I love Labrador too, but this one jumped right over Labrador. And the reason is because it has pinks, some purples, and kind of bluish, reflections in it. So it's like the beauty of crystal, but yet some colors.
And you notice the difference between the icy and the regular. Like there's a difference in both. The regular crystal AB, it's pretty, but I think it's like a little more harsh, and not in like a bad way, but it's like icy crystal AB is a little more like softer, but the bling is blingier.
I feel like the regular crystal AB goes just a tiny bit to the goldish color.
Yes.
And this is more clear with pops of pinks and purples and that.
Yes. Like a princess.
Yeah, Princess Marilyn.
Yes.
Oh, this sounds even better. Princess Patrice.
Yes. You know my old coworkers call me princess?
They do?
Yeah, but it's not in a nice way. It's not real.
Oh.
Yeah. So. All right, y'all. Let me show you guys my shirt. It's all done, and this one just says "Girls Girl." And I'm so happy that I used the jet black with it, because I think that jet black gives it like a nice little separation, the separation that it needs. Usually when I do these types, I usually use like the icy crystal AB on the inside too, but it's a girl shirt. So, what's a girl's favorite color, guys? Don't say purple. It's pink. It's pink. So we used icy crystal AB for the scatter. We used jet black for the outline, and that's how it kind of pops a little bit more. And then we use magenta for the inside. That jet black gives... Okay, so magenta, even though it's not an AB stone, it's still a very bright, blingy stone. And then icy crystal AB is very blingy too. But what I've noticed with icy crystal AB, it can kind of pick up the color of like the other stones around it. So I use the jet black because jet black, you're not going to pick up that jet black color. So it creates like the outline that I need. So y'all see it up close. Doesn't that look so good? It has like a nice little separation to it. Like I absolutely love it. Love it. All right, y'all.
Okay.
Purple because it's the color of royalty? Kristen, what are you talking about, girlfriend? What would you say? It's about pink.
It's all about pink. Okay, so I'm going to get close to the camera because here's that regular crystal AB.
I got to make you bigger.
Okay.
They can't do that.
Okay. This one's regular crystal AB. See how it kind of goes golden? And this one stays true crystal.
Yes. You can really see it.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see that?
Look at that shirt. So I'm behind looking over here. When I leaned forward, these stones were so pretty.
They're so pretty. And that design Marilyn is wearing is in her Etsy shop. Marilyn's Merc. Girl, just know that this is just for tonight. Don't get too happy. I'm too excited because I'm actually
be back to merch tomorrow.
We might be back to it tonight. They're used to us now. They spent 2 hours with us, so they know now.
T. Thompson says, I'm so scared to bling. T. Thompson, start with something small. Start with little designs. And I'm not saying it needs to be on a hat. A small design on a left chest, like a left chest logo, is super cute. Like I have a shirt that I wear in the summer that has popsicles, like a left chest logo. But start with small things.
Yep.
They are so much easier than really large designs. So start with small things. Number one, if it doesn't cut right, you've wasted less block. Number two, if you don't like it, you've wasted less rhinestones. And it's just so much easier to brush in. It's so much easier to pick up with that transfer tape. It's so much easier to lay it down and in place. And once you get, do 2 or 3 of these, that size, you'll be able to do this.
Yeah. Yep. And Eve has, like, with her bling, she has like a beginner bling kit. So you get the template, like a small template that you can practice brushing in. So don't be scared. Like we did the other night with the Cricut Joy. I cut these little things out. I made a decal with it, but you can use something just this small. It doesn't have to be large. Don't worry. Latasha, so look out for it. I'll probably put one up for April. So I'll do like a silhouette class, a beginner bling class, and an advanced bling class in April. I might do something like a little pop-up thing this week. I don't know yet for a break, but April for certain, girl, for certain. I'll do it in patches. All right. Anybody has any other questions for us? Let me know. Kristen, it's okay. I know you love purple. Some of my favorite people love purple. It's okay. It's fine. And it's tea. It is true. Have you tried using the big bling for the dots on the eyes? I haven't, but that would give it a little more texture. Janie, that may give it, like a little more dimension, make it a little more. Y'all, this black, like the way that the black separates the colors. Oof, that's the best person. Robin, thank you, Robin S. Thank you so much. I haven't sent y'all hearts in a long time. I love you guys. Thank you. Okay. I will. It'll be in April. I'll post it in the Facebook page, and then I'll also talk about it a little bit. And if I don't talk about it, Marilyn's going to talk about when I have a class. Somebody's going to talk about it. Yep. All right. Let's see if we have to figure out if it's the heat transfer tape or regular vinyl tape. Oh yeah, it needs to be Hotfix transfer tape. It has to be Hotfix transfer tape. Good night, Janie. Good night. Getting hooked is what you're gonna get hooked, T. Thompson. Did you say how to store the templates? So once I do, we didn't say about storing, but I'll show you guys my little contraptions for storing my templates. Outside of having templates everywhere, because I have templates all on my laser over there, I have templates over there. So once we cut it out, right, you may want to label this. Okay, so what I'll usually do sometimes is I'll just put, especially because I have embroidery and scatter like this, and sometimes the embroidery scatter is a little bit different from the one that I use when I'm doing all bling. So I have to label it. So I'll label it SS10, girls, so that way I know, and then I may say 3 of 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, so that I'll know that it belongs with something else, right? It's easier to find it that way. So Marilyn, how do you store your templates outside of me having templates all under here? Look, I could pull templates out from any and everything. Honey,
I have 2 really tall piles just sitting in the other room. They're not organized. They need to be. I need to get something almost like, a plastic tote that I put them in, and I have them in some type of order. But yeah, I have 2 huge piles just sitting on the shelf.
look. So I know y'all just saw those don't have a home. I have some over there without a home. Then I have this like portfolio book that I keep some of them in. Like these are all, and these are kind of separated. And then I have some that I just stuffed in here. But these are multiple designs in each little pocket. Multiple designs in each pocket. Then I have, oh Lord. Then I have Maryland is like, listen, like I cut so many templates. Then I have templates in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of templates in here. And then I have a few, like I have like 3 of these. And then I also have these clear ones. And these came from Joanne, but I think they have them at Michael's. Somebody said that they have them at Michael's too. And then I have these. So I have a few of these, all full of templates. I never have to design another rhinestone template ever. And they're like ever.
I'll bet you have 10 times as many templates as I do.
Like, it's sad.
Because you do a lot of designing. A lot of designing.
It's a lot. So that's how I store them. I do want to get another way of storing them, but at this point, I'm gonna have to get a warehouse for my templates. And then I have templates. I have templates over here, y'all. Like these are templates sitting over here on my poor little press, my poor little laser, and I don't want to put too many on there because they can get heavy.
Yeah. You have any templates in your old craft room?
Yep. I do. I think one day on Patrice L, like one Sunday, maybe tomorrow, I could just go through the templates and we can kind of organize them a little bit because, honey. All right, y'all. It's been fun. Hopefully this has been helpful. We do plan to maybe do this again. Cover anything that we didn't cover. If we didn't cover something that you need to know, please leave it in the comments. All right. And then that way we'll know, hey, cover this the next time. We didn't get to it. That's about it. We can do like a very basic outline design, but we're not going to be doing designing. This is mostly for application and to help you get over your fear of blinking. Marilyn, do you know a lot of people have bought bling supplies and they haven't used it?
No.
Can you imagine?
Have you ever bought anything and not used it?
I've asked a few things right now.
But yes, that's a shame because it's so fun. They're so pretty. So if you have those supplies, start small, get them out, do something. Now Sharon, she does things. She says she has 4 totes of templates.
See, oh no, she cuts templates out like me.
Yep.
She cuts templates out like me, and she has a lot of my templates, Miss Sharon Davenport. She cuts a lot of templates. So, yes. Okay, so Winnie Lane says she's interested in another bling and sublimation design session. We could do something like that.
Yeah. That'd be a good next one.
Yeah, we could do something like that. And then we could do like bling, since we can do so many different things. So just leave us some suggestions below. And, when we get back together again for blinking, I don't know when it's going to be because, Marilyn's a busy lady.
Speaking of, no, I'm not. Speaking of, I was so proud. You didn't see me earlier to get my calendar out to talk about a few upcoming things. Monday. Well, first of all, tomorrow, Patrice has another channel. It is Patrice L. And it is fun over there. It's not crafting. It's like book club and just talking. And it's fun. Let me put that in the chat because you don't want to miss that. Let's see. Let me find her. So she'll be on sometime tomorrow. Most likely. Here she is.
I'm going. So, has sent me to bed, girl. I got
to bed. Okay. Then Monday we have Crafternoon. At noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be doing sublimation. On Wednesday, we're going to be with Courtney of the Crafty Brick on her channel on the 18th. On the 28th, we have a block party where 8 of us are doing 8 different quilt blocks. So that's kind of some other things out of the norm for this month that we're doing. Okay, I'm done.
It's okay. We have one more question. It's okay. But don't the block party we're going to have. We need to start putting that stuff out. And y'all know the last person to get herself together and get right. Y'all know the last person, right? Mm-hmm.
You're not there's a couple of you.
Well, honey, I don't even know what I got going on, but don't worry. I'm gonna be on time. So Donna said that she notices when needing more rhinestones to brush into the flock, instead of brushing extra on the table onto the flock, the rhinestones are picked up and added to the flock. Is this how you do it versus brushing? So if it's just a few, if it's just like how I had it with one of the parts and I didn't brush them all in, like some of them didn't brush in, you can keep brushing them, right? But what I know that is sometimes that one may just not be brushing in. Like those holes may just not be brushing in. So I brush them off. I'll use the wax pen if it's a few. No, if it's a lot, I'm going to keep brushing it in. I'll put those back on. Like I'm not going to brush it off of the template until I actually have those holes filled in. But if it's just like 2 or 3 holes that I need to fill in, sometimes it's a lot quicker because I don't want to end up. What can happen is that while you're brushing, you can end up brushing some of the rhinestones that are already set in its place. You can end up brushing those out of place, and then now you're trying to brush it back in. So I just go ahead and use the wax pen. But as you do it more, you'll see what works best for you, and then you'll say, okay, sometimes the wax pen. And then what, this will, and sometimes I just take my finger and slide rhinestones into the holes. Do you ever do that, Marilyn?
No, I'm not good at that. Eve does great at that. No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't feel for extra ones going like that either. I just drag them out. I'm too heavy-handed.
We didn't even talk about that. If it's like overlapping rhinestones, you do need to clear the extra rhinestones off, especially with layered designs like how we did with the different colors and layering it, because you don't want an extra rhinestone to be in a place of where another stone is supposed to be. So that's also a thing. All right. Did we do anything else? Did we miss anything else?
T. Thompson asked if you have any designs where she just buys them and presses them, and I put in the chat, yes, she does. She has a limited number. She's getting ready to add more, and they're in her website, and I linked her website.
Yes. Thank you, Mirror Bear. Thank you.
I would show a couple, but they're downstairs.
It's all good. And the ones that I have are in the other craft room. So, I mean, it's fine. It's on my website, but I am going to be adding more, like Marilyn said. I'm going to be adding some more designs. So we'll see. All right. Anything else? I think you guys are wonderful. Head over to Derica because Derica's probably already in the middle of either she's designing or she's embroidering. She could be blinging. I think she's going to be blinging a mom design today, right?
Yes.
A mom design.
It says God plus mom is strength, maybe? I can't remember. And I can't see her thumbnail now because she's live.
She's live?
Yep.
Hold on, let me see. Head over to Derica. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys.
You want me to get it? I'm here.
Oh, yes. Yes, please. Put it in the chat.
Okay. How do we get rid of snapback rhinestones are on? Snapback. Flatback is probably what.
How do I get rid of flatback rhinestones?
Mrs. Bryant, are you talking about the flatbacks that you put glue on and put them on hard surfaces? Or are you talking about what we did tonight, which is Hotfix rhinestones?
Good night, Brandy. Brandy got an usher tomorrow morning. Get your rest, Brandy. We're going to wait to see what Brian says, and then we'll head out. If you guys want to go ahead, go say hey to Derica. She's blinging too.
I was typing fast. When you are moving stones.
Well, how do you get rid of when you're moving stones? Okay, when you're moving stones, what's the question? Good night, Nicole. Good night, Jesse. Victoria's Creations. We're waiting. Oof, y'all. I think this was good. I enjoyed myself with y'all tonight.
Let's see. Patrice hates it when the box is checked.
What checked?
Trying to think of what.
Oh, and I hate when the red. I hate when that red line, when the cut line is around something. I do.
Oh, I do too. And the thing is, you take it away, and then a few steps later, it's back.
You got to keep removing it. So when the box is checked. Good night, Bobby.
Night, Bobby. Good night, Mo baby.
Okay, so removing the stones.
Night, Janet.
When the box is checked. Good night, Kevin. Good night, Mo baby. And good night, Janet.
A t-shirt neckline placement template called.
Oh, the stones. So you gotta.
Oh, okay.
You gotta take the snap off. Hold on. Let me see. Y'all go over there and head over to Derica and tell Derica I'm coming to turn her on in a minute. Whoever goes over there, please tell Derica that I'm coming and I'll be there soon. I just listen. I be in the bushes, but I do.
Okay, yeah, she's talking about the snapping, like when they snap to grid.
I'm gonna open up Silhouette Studio and then I think I'm still in here and share it. Silhouette Studio. Even though this is not a design thing today, don't do that today. But I will go in. You gotta share. Good night, Cookie Cook and Sheila, Felicia, Dempsey Boo. Are you home? Y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna try to. All right, so you probably have. You don't have to take off your snap to grid. So here you probably have one of these selected. You want to take that off. So enable snapping. I went to the page setup panel here. And then I selected the grid settings. And then you want to just make sure that you don't have that on. You can do snap to guides, don't have snap to grids either. So if you have snap to guides, that's fine. That's not going to do anything. So if I had like a, let me draw a little heart. And then I'm going to just do something real quick. Let's go ahead. Ooh. What size is this?
And Brian, it's okay. She said, thank you, and I'm so sorry. It's okay. Actually, this is something I think that people don't even recognize can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I was having it happen in Inkscape when I started in Inkscape. It was so frustrating. So I had to figure out how to, disable snapping.
Yeah. So if you click here, you release your stones. So we go to page setup. If I click here, so I can kind of move it around freely. But when you have all the other stuff like selected, snap to grid, then you see how I can't move it.
It goes where it wants to go.
Yeah, and that would be for it because it's snapping to the grid, right? So you see on the side how I move it, you see it'll just snap to a certain And it looks like it's going in what, Marilyn? Like 1/4 inch increments?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, those are big snaps, big movements.
Yeah, it's going in 1/4 inch increments. So see, this is gonna. So you want to take that off, and you don't enable smart snapping. Just leave snap to guides, and then you can kind of move it freely like that. You can inch it in a little bit closer, stuff like that. All right, was that it, Marilyn? Was that what she was looking for?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Your girl is about to go jump into the bed, put the Rika on, put Dateline and 2020 on. Well, first I'm gonna do 2020 so I could finish watching what I fell asleep on last night.
I thought you were going to watch them at the same time. One on this device, one on this device.
Oh, you know that happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm watching it, and then sometimes I'm watching a true crime thing on YouTube at the same time.
Now, I've never watched things like that, but I will watch 2 lives or 3 lives, or I'll watch a live and a video. And a lot of the times I'll go through videos at 1.5 or 2 times speed because I know generally what they're doing. I just need to catch a few things, and it drives him crazy. He's like, I don't know how you can do that. You've got this going fast. And like,
that's why we're twins. We do the same thing. Them things are like 5 times speed. Like she be so fast. She's like speed.
Oh. All right, Patrice. Well, thank you for the beautiful design and the beautiful color inspo. It's gorgeous.
Thank you, Marilyn. It's beautiful. You did a good job with our shirt. Let's show your shirt one more time before we get off.
We'll wear it tomorrow after church.
Because she's been that girl. Yes, Marilyn. I love it. It looks so good.
Okay.
That was just too much for her. That was a long time. All right. And this is my shirt. It looks really cute because I'm a girl's girl.
That is very cute.
Love it. All right, y'all. It's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you guys enjoyed this first edition of Bling Sewciety, which it's not really even a thing, but you know, I had to do a thumbnail.
It is now.
I had to call it something. Did you see I put sparkly Saturdays? Like, girl, talk
Sparkly
about
Society.
yes. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you soon. I'll be on tomorrow a little bit for Patrice L. Marilyn already gave y'all the calendar for next week, Monday. So sublimation on Monday, and then Wednesday we're going to be hanging out with Courtney. That's going to be super duper fun. Make sure you have your calendars marked for our block party. I'm about to say bling party, our block party for March 28th. That's it, y'all. We love you guys so much. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. We hope this was super helpful. Until next time, y'all. Later.
Bye.